Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So today I want to talk about something that's quite interesting that I think no one really talks about, and I think this is what the channel is about: is to talk about things that people don't talk about, but it's actually very interesting to observe, to think about it, and to it's also entertainment, right? So today I want to talk about. So I've been recently seeing a video. It's about I think he's an Asian American guy. His name is Zian Chen. He talks about life in Colombia, and he talks about dating the Colombian woman and all sorts of different things. And he brought up a topic about thirsty American dudes, which I found is really interesting. I'll put the link down below, his video. So I haven't watched his video because actually I just saw a couple of clips and his title. But basically, I think it's about saying that Colombian women they are seeing the gringos, the foreigners coming to Colombia, and they're all very thirsty, very acting like they want something, towards a woman. And women know that. The Colombian women obviously know that, and so why is that? Like, why are these guys really that thirsty? Like that they can't get stuff in America? They can't get the woman in America? Is it really like that? And what has caused this? Why are there so many thirsty dudes, thirsty Western dudes in going to, places like Colombia, maybe Thailand? I think guys are pretty thirsty there too. So why are there so many thirsty dudes in the West? I wouldn't say it's just Colombia. Also look at any city in America, New York City. You see a lot of thirsty dudes in the bars, in the clubs. Compare this with, say, for example, let's say in China, for example, where I grew up. Let's say, for example, you're going to a restaurant, you're going to a bar in Shanghai, China. The guys, the Asian guys, aren't really that. They don't appear that thirsty at all. Like they're just chilling, right? Like they're not acting like they're gonna, like, hungry looking for women. They're not acting like that. So, and on the other hand, you have white foreigners who do act like that, and obviously it's just people haven't pointed that out, right? So in Colombia, he has rightfully so pointed this out, that all the gringos or the American dudes going there, they're acting too thirsty, as in, they're acting, they want something all the time. They're looking all the time to find a chick or something like that, right? So why is that, right? Why is it? And I think, you know what, like, I think the reason is that, um, these guys, they're already thirsty back in, I think, back in America, back in, UK, in Europe. Already this guy, everybody's thirsty because, guess what? In the West, you kind of have to be thirsty in the West. Everybody is thirsty because in the West, what it's become is it's a high turnover kind of game, right? So, for example, why do I say that? So what I mean is that, you see, let's say, for example, a girl in China, in Shanghai, China, right? She would probably date someone, maybe once every three years. She would have a boyfriend. Maybe she would be single for a year or two. She doesn't have that many guys around that dating her. That's dating her, or that she slept with, or who she hook up with. Right? Most people just live a very simple life in terms of dating aspects. So what I'm trying to say is that the girls in China, they're not as, like, they're not having different dating experiences all the time. And compared to the West here, what I found is, look at the cities like London or whatever, New York City. People are hooking up all the time. That's just reality. And that is the main difference between East and West. In China, people are tend to be like more, people are tend to be like, they don't view hooking up like all the time as something normal. Like people maybe have a boyfriend, girlfriend, and some in university, or sometimes you have, when they get 25, people think maybe they'll find a husband or something like that, right? It's a very simple and very, maybe you can call it innocent life. So once you come, and then you have girls come, maybe some girls don't like that, I don't know, but I mean, I'm not here to judge like how many boyfriends you have, but in China, all my friends and my relatives, my cousins, they don't really have that many boyfriends. They don't really have that many guys. So and a lot of time is like, sometimes you meet a guy in your social circle, you have some dinners, and then you just feel like you both get along quite well, and then maybe you take it to the next level, something like that, something that's very simple. Whereas here in the West, you look at the chicks here, some of the younger chicks, man. It's like, I'm not saying everybody's a hoe, but like these girls are, everybody's hooking up. All the girls are hooking up. I know, like at least in the big cities, the transient cities, right? Like you go on Bumble, you swipe right, you go on Tinder, you swipe left or right, and then you make up a date, and then basically it's hooking up is like easy, and it's common, and it's widely accepted. It's and so guess what? And then guess what? And it becomes, and what it becomes is basically become a numbers game. So basically, like, you have to be approaching, you have to always be closing. So why do I say that? Is because everybody's doing it. If you don't do it, you're losing out, right? Like for example, let's say for example, I'm comparing this to like you're making a sale, right? So for example, you have some targets there. Let's say in a business situation, your competitor is making a move. Your competitor is cold calling your clients. Boom, boom, boom. They're doing and you're not doing it. Guess what? Where your buyer is going to? Maybe they're going to a competitor, because they're always approaching. They're always doing stuff, right? They're always asking girls out. And if you don't do that, then because you left out basically. And for social circle, it's slightly different, but similar can apply, right? Similar things can apply. For example, if you have group of social circle, and then three guys. I had this in university. You have three guys, maybe you have a couple other girls. It's a bit more relaxed as in real dating life, but other guys are approaching. Other guys are talking to the girls, right? And if you don't talk to the girls, you're losing out, basically. So that explains, I think, in my opinion, that explains why guys are thirsty, because you have to be approaching, you have to be thirsty, because it's a numbers game now, right? It's largely a numbers game, and everyone is hooking up, and that's becoming a numbers game.